Hey guys, Ant here from the M Squad, back again with round 2 of our MAIC 2017 North American International Championships format tournament. Here on our left we have Richie playing ZoroDrampa, and on our right is Tristan Macek playing EspeonGarb. Tristan did play EspeonGarb at the actual 2017 North American International Championships and did get a top 16 placement with Espeon, so this should be an interesting match. It is no mentioning that this list that Tristan is playing right now is not the list he played at the Internets. He's actually playing the Caleb Gettermer's top 16 list. I actually just have a bunch of decks built from this format, and I just handed him the Espeon, and that's the list that I had built. So he was kind of unhappy that it wasn't his personal 60, but he still went along with it. They're both currently 1-0, as you guys can see on the screen, in round 2. So they're just setting up, and we're about to get this show on the road. So it looks like Tristan's going first. He starts a Trubbish, and Richie is starting a Drampa GX. So let's see what. So he does have a Lele, which I'm not sure if he's going to grab a Bridget here or supporter, because he does not have a follow-up, I don't believe. But Tristan was able to bench a second Trubbish, so that's good. So he does eye up the Bridget. Just taking a look at his deck, see what he has available to himself. He's going to start getting some EVs out as well. He's probably going to get EV, maybe 2 EVs out. A Trub. So he goes for Trub, EV, and is that all? Let's see. What is he going to grab for his third? I would probably grab a second EV here. I think he's just debating on what to grab. I'm not sure how this matchup plays out, but I would imagine that ZoroDrampa is favored in this matchup, just due to the fact that you could just copy Trash Lanch with just with Zoro break. So he does go with the second EV. I think he's just gonna go ahead and he's going to attach the Psychic to the EV using Energy Evolution turn 1 to evolve straight into an Espeon GX. So he does get the turn 1 Espeon on board. Now, I'm not sure if he has a Float Stone, so he can he can't attack, so retreating this turn is really not that important. But let's just see. He shuffles up here. Let's see his hand. He has an Ultra Ball. I see an Ultra Ball. So he could get the Garbodor. But I'm not sure if he has a follow. But that Ultra Ball may be for a Lele on the following turn. So he's going to go ahead and pass. Richie on his turn has the Drampa start. He's going to go ahead and play the Magma Base. He's going to bench a Tapu Lele GX and a Wonder Tag. Put 20 damage on it due to the Team Magma Base stadium. Now that stadium says if your Pokemon does not have Team Magma in their name, when you bench it and bring it into play from hand, it takes 20 damage. So he goes ahead and grabs Bridget with the Lele. He's going to start setting up his pieces. He's going to get his Zeruas down, possibly a second Drampa. Let's see what he grabs here. He's just going to go 3 Zorua. Very good. Just want to go single prizer. Drampa could be very annoying in this match because of Righteous Edge, so Richie could just start discarding Tristan's DCEs with Righteous Edge and hindering his setup and hindering his attacks, his secondary attacks. So I think he attaches a DCE here, and I think he just Big Wheels. I think he just attempted to use Big Wheel here. There's no GX markers on the table, but I'll confirm now if he starts drawing more than... Yeah, he has to be Big Wheeling because I don't see a hand, and he's shuffling up Yep, it's a big wheel. So he did big wheel GX. Now, Tristan does have an Ultra Ball. I would imagine he goes Ultra Ball Lele for an N. I mean, you always want to follow up a big wheel GX with an N. A big wheel says shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 10. So Ricci does have 10 cards in hand currently. So I do see Tristan has the parallel, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good card right now, because Ricci will just get rid of his Lele, and that Lele could be vital to taking 2 prizes later on if Trash Lynch adds up. So Ricci's going to go ahead and attach Choice Band to Eevee, and oh, he has the N. Okay, so he's just going to play N. So he doesn't even have to use that Ultra Ball. He could have used the Ultra Ball to at least maybe get another Garbodor out. I mean, he could have thinned out a bit, but maybe he just wanted to keep those pieces. So we'll see how his hand's gonna look like after this. So I would imagine he wants to see Floatstone, more importantly, and then maybe a Garbodor. He's Trubbish, Sycamore, Psychic, Field Blower, Psychic, and another Sycamore. Okay. He might just go for the Acid Spray here, which is, it wouldn't be that bad if he hits the heads. Get rid of that DCE off the Drampa. Let's see here. He's gonna go for the Acid Spray. Gets Tails, just 10 damage, and Ricci's gonna draw for turn. Let's see how he plays this out. Ricci asking how many cards in hand. Now, I personally think ZoroDrampa was probably the best deck in this format. It was a very slept on deck. It didn't get much attention up until the 2017 Nats, and Andrew Mahone did get a top 4 with it, and he had a very close setting top 4 against Sam Chen, and unfortunately lost. Or it was, I think it was a top 8. I'm not sure, but it was a hell of a match, and I think it was a great deck. It has great matchups. So he does play Sycamore here, and he gets a new hand to set, and he's going to attach a Rainbow Energy, putting that Drampa at 20 damage. And he's going to go ahead and hit for 150 due to the fact that Berserk does 150, does an additional 70 damage if one of your bench Pokemon have damage, and that Lele does have 20 damage. So that's a nice combo you can see with Team Magma Base and Drampa, just ramping up its Berserk damage almost immediately with just 2 attachments. So he does play Field Blower. He's gonna bench a Trubbish. He's gonna take the 20 damage due to Team Magma Base and play Sycamore. Let's see what he grabs here. Do you see some options he's drawing into? Yeah, did see a Floatstone, and I did see an Ultra Ball, so he could activate Garbotoxin if he wanted to this turn. He also does have to be careful with overbenching. Zoroark does have an attack called Mind Jack for double colors energy. It does a 10 base plus 30 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if your opponent has 5 bench Pokemon, it'll do 160 damage, and with the Choice Band 190 damage. So he does have to be careful with that as well. The ZoroDrampa deck puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. I mean, it limits you. So he's going to go ahead and just Psychic for knockout, doing the 180 because Drampa had 3 energies, and the Espeon has a Choice Band on it. So right now Ricci's at 5 prizes and Tristan's at 4. So Ricci's going to promote a Baby Zorua, attach a DCE, I believe. See how this plays out. Attaches a Choice Band as well. He's playing a Special Charge, allowing him to grab 2 special energies from his discard and bring them back into his deck. He's doing that. So I'm not sure if he has the Zoroark in hand or if he's going to reach for it, because I would have attached to the bench Zorua if he didn't have it guaranteed, and then because you could always just use its ability stand in to just bring it active, so in case he whiffs, if he's trying to draw it off a supporter, at least you won't leave this baby Zorua active with the energy and choice band. So he plays Rescue Stretcher for the Drampa, and he's gonna just Sycamore and draw 7 cards. Gets to 20 damage because of Magma Base, and they're going to draw 7 cards here. Does he get the Zoroark? He does. I mean, that was a bit greedy, but again, like I said, I would have just attached the choice and DC to the bench Zorua in case you did whiff, so that you're not going to sacrifice a Zorua in the active with the DCE. And if you did get the Zoroark, you won't be punished because you could just, again, use its ability to stand in and bring it active. So he's going to go ahead and Mind Jack here for a total of 160. So that's a nice chunk with a single prizer and just a 1 attachment. He's going to put 160 on this 200 HP Espeon. And now Tristan's turn. He's going to draw for turn. Now see, this is a tough situation because it's hard to deal with these Zoroarks, because with Espeon, if he Psychics, well actually Psychic would be a knockout, because Psychic would do 60 plus 40, actually it would not, 60 plus 60, yeah, it would, Psychic would be a knockout even with the resistance on the Zoroark. So 60 plus 90, I believe, right? I forget now what Psychic's ability is. Okay, yeah, they remembered to put the 2 damage counters on the EV for the Magma Base. I'm blanking now as to what's EV Psychic damage. I think it's 60 base plus 30 for each energy. Yeah, so I forget, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, it's a knockout. Psychic is a knockout. He's gonna go down to 3 prizes. So this Espeon only has 40 HP remaining, so he must have the Zoroark if he oh, he has a Teammates. Okay, so Teammates says it's a great supporter. If a Pokemon was knocked out on your last turn, you could search your deck for any 2 cards. So he's going to go ahead and activate the Teammates. Can't see what he grabbed, but I'm assuming it's probably a DCE and a Zoroark here. And yep, looks like exactly what he grabs here. He's going to go ahead and evolve that Zorua, attach to DCE. And Mind Jack would be a knockout. It's plenty damage. It's doing more than he needs. He only needed to do 40 damage. So let's see here. What's he eyeing up? I think he's counting his items. I'm not sure if he's played a lot of. Yeah, he's played several amount of items. There was a Field Blower. There was some VS Seekers played. Some special charges. So he's gonna take the knockout. He's gonna go down to 3 prizes. They're both tied at 3. Just gonna draw for turn. I think he's aiming to do a Trash Lance here this turn. There would need to be 6 items for a Trash Lance to take this KO here. He is eyeing up the Trash Lance. Richie giving the Blood Gang shit signs and the Jew God. Okay, so Garbotoxin is activated. Going to go ahead and evolve that EV into an Espeon. It looks like Trash Lance will be the attack this turn. I'm guessing it's a KO if he's attaching to this. I think he's thinking about ending Richie down to 3 cards. Actually, I don't even see a supporter here. He's Ultra Balling, but he's not going to be able to Wonder Tag due to Garbotoxin. So he does grab a second Trashalanche, trying to thin out for the late game. You just want to leave good cards in your deck, playable cards. So Ultra Ball is a great card to get to play in the late game as well. So he goes ahead, evolves the second Garbodor. He's going to promote it. Trashalanche. Yep, there is more than 6 items there. So he does take a prize card. He's going down to 2 prizes, and Ricci has 3. Ricci promotes the Zorua. Now, if Ricci could get a Zorua, a Zoroark, and a DC, that would be a knockout. That would be doing 130 damage. So he's going to VS Seeker for teammates and probably just get the same 2 cards as the last teammate. Either Zoroark or DCE, or maybe even a Rescue Stretcher DCE. So he goes and gets the Zoroark DCE. And the teammates is just very strong. Very strong. It's just like you just set up exactly what you need without using many resources. You don't even have to like dig and discard items. It'll just allow you to find exactly what you need to take a KO. So he's going to go ahead and Mind Jack here to kill this Garbodor and go down to 2 prizes. So they're both tied at 2 prizes here. But I don't think Tristan has an energy or a drawing support. I think he has a Lysander, an Eevee, maybe an energy. He doesn't even have an energy, I don't believe. No, so this is going to be rough. He's not even going to be able to attack this turn. If he could have taken a knockout with Trashalanche this turn, I think Ricci doesn't even have a board to deal with after that, because he has to double attach to Drampa. It's unfortunate that he does not get the energy to attack this turn. It looks like he's just going to have to pass. I mean, he does. I think he has a Lysander, so he could potentially just Lysander up the Drampa just to stall, buy him a couple turns. I mean, just maybe buy him a turn. But Tristan thinking about what's his best move right now. This is a tough position. Yeah, I think he's just gonna have to sacrifice this Garbotoxin and just. Yeah, that's a smart move, because then if Ricci kills his Garbotoxin, then it does give him access to Wonder Tag again. He does have a Rescue Stretcher in hand. He could just Rescue Stretcher a Lele. So Ricci's playing an Ultra Ball here, getting rid of Tapu Lele. And maybe he gets the Zoroark break this turn. Or maybe he just wants to set up a second Zorua. I think he's counting how many Zoruas he has down. So he goes and plays an Ultra Ball. Let's see what he grabs here. Maybe he might be going for the break. He might be getting a second Zorua in play. He does get a second. That's smart, because once he needs to set up a secondary attacker, so that's smart. And so he gets the second Zorua. He is going to be able to take a knockout on this Garbodor due to hitting exactly 100 damage. The Garbotoxin has 100 HP. He's going to go ahead and attach a Dark Energy to the Drampa. Just one more attachment. Oh, he does have the break in hand, so that gives it a nice HP bump to 140. So now Trashalanche would need about 14 items. No, 8 items. 8 items. So he's gonna go ahead and also play Sycamore. I'm pretty sure there's 8 items or more in the discard by now, because he discarded 2 Ultra Balls on that last Ultra Ball. So if there was 6 before, there's definitely more than 8 now. So he's gonna go ahead and just Mind Jack and take the KO on this Garbotoxin. So that might be just checkmate, because due to the fact He does get a DCE, but that doesn't really do much for him. The Lele could energy drive, but it's only going to do 80 damage to this Zoroark break. He could I don't know. If he has a Lysander, he could attach the DCE to the Lele and Lysander up to Zorua and just hit it for 40 and actually kill the Zorua on the bench because it has 20 damage from the Magma base. So I wonder if he has a Lysander in hand. I thought I saw it before. I know he has a Rescue Stretcher, a Trash Lanch, and a DCE now, but I could have swore he was holding on to a Lysander. Let's see. Yeah, that's a Lysander underneath the DCE. I think his best option is attach a DCE and just Lysander up the, and just see if Richi's got a Lysander to kill the Trashalanch with actually Trashalanch wouldn't even kill it as well, I don't think, because oh no, not Trash, he only has a DCE on his Zoroark break, so it can only do Mind Jack. I think he has to Lysander up the Zorua. He's thinking about it. Just joking around. Shooting the shit, as they say. Richie looking at his watch indicating that, Tristan, come on, you're slow playing me, bro. Come on, let's get this over with. You got it, you don't. I think Tristan's contemplating an Oricorio play. It's actually an Oricorio in his hand, I believe. I don't know why he just doesn't Lysander. Brings up the Zorua for a DC and just energy drives it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a Lysander in his hand. Yeah, that's a Lysander in his hand, but the second card in. Yeah, it is a Lysander. I think that was a bad play. I think he brings up the Zorua and just energy drives it for KO. So he's just going to go ahead and show him the DCE, attaches it to the Drampa, and then he Lysanders up the Garbodor and uses Berserk for game. So that is game one. Richi's going to go ahead. I mean, it wouldn't even have mattered anyway, even if he killed the Zorua. Richi did have Lysander DCE for the knockout. So it didn't matter. So Richi's going to go ahead and go up a game. And I'm assuming Tristan's going to go first, game two. So yeah, I mean, while Trashalanch is a very strong stage 1 attack for 1 attachment, I think Mind Jack is a very strong, maybe, no, I wouldn't say stronger, but you can play around Trashalanch and kind of still progress your board, whereas Mind Jack, it's tough because even if you try to play around Mind Jack and not overbench, then you're not properly setting up your board. So it's kind of tough, like, to deal with the Mind Jack, and then also you have them doing Berserk that could just hit you for 180 at any turn, and then you also have the Zoroark break that could just copy any of your attacks, which is very annoying. So it could actually confuse Espeon's as well. It would copy Espeon's Psybeam attack, or you could even copy their Cross Divide and set up some double KOs that way or something. You could do some interesting things with the Zoroark break. It's a very underrated card. It's essentially a stage 2, but it had Psychic Resistance. The 140 for a baby at the time was very annoying to deal with. And it has stand-in ability. It's just a very great card. It's a very good card, strong card. So they're all shuffled up here. They're going to start setting up. Tristan does get an EV with an energy, so that's good. We will be seeing an Espeon turn 1. considering he doesn't prize all of them. Ricci does start a Turtonator GX, which is unfortunate. He was actually joking around with me this tournament that he's like, why the fuck does this deck play a Turtonator? It's literally a dead card. It's useless. He hated it, and he said he started it so many times, and it's only a one of, and in so many games he started it. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly why Mahone played the Turtonator. I mean, I was told it's for the Metagross matchup. It could be for the Decidueye variants, but it just seems like a really bad card, and it's a liability. It's also note mentioning that Mahone did not play a Field Blower in his list, and that's kind of shocking that he did so well in a Garbodor format where he didn't play Field Blower. And you know, this format was very tool reliant. There was Float Stones, there was Stadiums, there was Choice Bands, there was Fighting Fury Belts, all types of jazz. And to not play Fury tools or not play a Field Blower was kind of shocking that it did so well. I personally would drop the Turtonator and play a Field Blower, but I just didn't want to, you know, I kept all my decks here like the way that they were at the tournament. Just wanted to keep it in that format, and you know, those players did very well and got those accolades with their list, so who am I to say no, it needs to change? Like, they're the ones that did it. Those were the lists they decided on, so I'm not going to alter those. So that's what I did. I left those at that. So Ricci's going to go ahead and just do turn one things. He wonder tags for a Bridget, and he grabs ZoroDrampa. Just setting up his board here, getting the godlike start. He's going to go ahead and attach a DCE and use Shell Trap, which is kind of annoying because I don't think Tristan has a Lysander, so if he wants to attack this turn, he will be taking 8 damage on his turn. Shell Trap does 20 damage, and it says if this Pokemon is attacked on your opponent's turn, they receive 80 damage. So I could see why maybe he played Shell Trap. You know, it's good to set up your bench while you're Shell Trapping. It kind of slows your opponent down and makes them not want to attack into your active Turtonator, so you could just kind of wall behind them while you're setting up your Zoruas to Zoroarks, but possibly setting up Berserk as well. So that could have been one of the reasons why. Oh, so he's going to go ahead and Cross Divide, which is a great play, because this actually bypasses Shell Trap. So he's going to go ahead and kill a Zorua on the bench, put 60 on it, and I'm not sure exactly how he spread the other damage, but that was a great play. That does bypass the Shell Trap, so you will not take damage because it's a damage counter. Shell Trap says if it takes damage from an attack, and Cross Divide places damage counter, so it bypasses that. So Ricci's going to go ahead, evolve the Zorua into a Zoroark, bench another Zorua, and play N. Tristan will be seeing 5 cards. Ricci will be seeing 6 cards. Let's see, I think Ricci wants to definitely get an energy attachment on the Drampa. I think that's what he's mainly looking for here. So this Espeon currently has 180 damage. He does get it, find an attachment for the Drampa. And I think we're gonna see just another Shell Trap here. Shell Trap for, okay, another 20 damage, putting it at 160 remaining. This is kind of this is not bad because it's just kind of protecting his bench here, unless Tristan has access to Lysander. I think there is a Lysander in Tristan's discard pile, and I do see a Via Seeker in his hand. Tristan probably will be setting up a secondary attacker here. Not sure if he puts the Psychic Energy onto the Eevee or the Trubbish. It's unfortunate because even if he Lysanders the Zorua, Psyche doesn't even take a knockout. It only does 40 damage due to resistance. So I think Tristan deciding what he wants to start powering up here. I think he should attach it to the Eevee and just get the second Espeon going here. He does attach to the Eevee. He's going to go ahead and Energy Evolution and find the Espeon in the deck. So he's going to evolve that. Still thinking of what his best plan is here. I'm not sure if you Lysander here or... Oh, he's gonna go ahead and play Hex. And then he's gonna go ahead and Psychic, and I think it does 120 damage. Oh, there's 150 damage. It does 150 damage, and it had some counters on it, so I'm not sure exactly how much damage is currently on it. I think 180, but yeah, this Turtonator is close to seeing its last breath. So he's going to go ahead and evolve his second Zorua into Zoroark, attach a Choice Band to Drampa, play Ultra Ball. I think he probably wants to see a Zoroark break here. Yep, evolves into the break. So Reach does not have access to abilities this turn, so he cannot stand in. Let's see what happens here. I think he can only Shell Trap again because Turtonator has a 3 retreat cost and there's only a DC on him, so he would have to attach to it just to retreat, and I don't even think that's a smart move. He wants to probably set up an energy on the Drampa or one of the Zoroarks. If he just Sycamore, so he's going to see a new hand. If he sees a Dark here, I think he attaches to the Zoroark break. If he sees a DCE, he attaches to the Drampa. So let's see. Yeah, I think so. He does find the Dark. He's going to attach the Dark to the Zoroark break, and he's going to go ahead with another Shell Trap. So that Espeon should be at 120 damage. He's done 2 Shell Traps. He's taken the 80 damage. So that's 80 plus 40. So it should be at 120 having 80 remaining. So if it does have 80 remaining, if Ricci hits into this Shell Trap, he also dies on his turn as well. So, Tristan would go to 4 while they both would go to 4 prizes. So I'm not sure if it's even worth it, because you go to 4 each and then you have to promote something and then it's going to be your opponent's turn. So it could be just forcing your opponent to go up a prize as well. So it's give up 3 prizes to take 2 or have an alternate plan here. So I think he's going to retreat and hit with the other Espeon so that takes the Shell Trap damage instead. Now that's a smart move, but as I mentioned before, Zoroark Break can copy Cross Divide if Espeon's active. So his Zoroark Break may be able to take multiple knockouts. 80. It could do the 8 counters on the bench Espeon and put 2 somewhere else. I think Ricci might be eyeing that up. I wonder if he sees that line. Oh, okay. Tristan has 3 prizes remaining, so he only had 5 prizes. So he's going to promote the Drampa Ricci does have access to abilities this turn. He's going to go ahead and bench another Zorua. I think Ricci's eyeing up an N here. He's going to Via Seeker for an N. He put it on the top of his discard. Yep, Via Seeker N. Going to be ending Tristan to a 3-card hand. I don't see Garbotoxin out, so it looks like... Yeah, I think in this matchup, Garbotoxin just probably hinders your own play as the Garbodor player more than it actually affects the ZoroDrampa deck. They're not a very ability-based deck, so it really doesn't even... So it's probably not even worth playing in this matchup. You probably just want to start setting up Trash Lanches, more importantly. So Tristan just draw into no supporter. I do see a Trash Lance, a Field Blower, and a Floatstone. So he is going to be able to evolve that Trubbish, but he does not have any energy or supporter. And I think this Espeon is going to see its last breath here with a Berserk attack for 180. I do see it does have damage on it currently. Even if it has 20 damage, it is a knockout. Yep. So that thing's going to be dead. Ricci's going to go down to 4 prizes. Or 3, I'm not sure. Wow. So he doesn't have much. He's going to be able to confuse... Yeah, that's an easy fix. Just get rid of a Lele. Now he just has a bench of single prize attackers. I think all he could do is just hit this Drampa for 60 damage because of the choice band and confuse it. But Ricci could just stand in retreat and take a Berserk knockout. If Ricci has a Floatstone as well, he could just retreat for free, but he does currently have to pay the retreat cost, which is 2 on the Zoroark, and he does not have that energy fulfilled on any of the Zoroarks. So I wonder if he's just thinking about doing a stand-in retreat play back into the Drampa to unconfuse it. So he's going to go ahead, bring up the Zoroark, and he may be trying to copy the Cross Divide. Oh, I think he just Psychics, actually, for the knockout. Going down to 2 prizes. Tristan doesn't have much net, and he's just going to scoop. And that's going to do it for round 2. Ricci's going to go 2-0 after round 2 with ZoroDrampa. Tristan's going to go to 1-1. And hope you guys enjoyed Gate round 2. Please like the video, subscribe, comment below on what you thought of the match. And if we're planning on doing more retro format tournaments in the future, so let us know what you want to see, and appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned. Take care.